Okay. Now let's try this again. So, this is like my sixth time doing this. So I just did it again, and it was 14 minutes long, but I forgot to turn on my microphone, so it was completely quiet. So I'm going to do it again, and if it happens again, it happens again, and I will just try it one more time. If it doesn't post again, I'm just going to completely delete it. I'm going to stop recording it, and I'll do a whole nother what if, because, okay. So this is what if deku was in a zombie apocalypse, part 2. So, last time when I left off, I was talking about Bakugo's swords, but that sword's about to leave off, like always, so let's get on with the terms of training. Like I described their training in the last season, not the last season, the last episode, they're basically doing the same thing, but they're added weight, and they went to go clean up that couple beach, and they're doing a little bit of sparring with Bakugo's. They're basically doing sparring all together, practicing how to manipulate the poison, just doing all types of things. And how Bakugo gets the sleeping powder. His sweat basically carries the main ingredient for the sleeping powder, and as soon as he touches it on the blade just turns, the blade just adds all the rest of the ingredients, I'd say. So yeah, anyway, let's get into the what if. So yeah, that's basically what they do for him with the training. On the first day of the Institute exam, on the regular Institute exam, they didn't go to because they all got recommendations from all their parents. So they went to the recommendation test, and what they end up doing is this is what the scores are. Deku got 120 because Principal Nezu he messed up on 2 of the questions, which Deku ended up answering correctly. Todoroki would get 100, and so would Bakugo. Now, the only reason they didn't get 122 is because they all got different tests, and on that test, Principal Nezu messed up on 2 of the questions, because everybody isn't perfect, so he messed up on 2 of the questions. And Momo would also get a 100, pitting her in second place with Bakugo and Todoroki. For the exam part, I'm pretty sure all they did is a race. So I would say Todoroki, Deku, and Bakugo all got first place. And I don't know, I think Laser Meme also took the I just had the word, the recommendation test. I don't know for sure. So if he did, I'll say he got third place, and Sugar Rush got second place. Momo got fourth place, I'd say. But since she got 100 on her test, she will get into UA. And I'd say Great Pair did not get into UA, but Sugar Rush did. So Sugar Rush is in Class 1A now, and instead of what's her name? That one girl that is weird. She's a pro hero. I forgot her name. Dang it. Anyway, why do I keep forgetting his name? no, not Eraserhead. Cement Head will be teaching there too. Okay, so for the they get in, they go home for 2 weeks, and they get their test. Not the test, they get to know. And Principal Nezu wants to talk to Deku because he's shocked that he even corrected Nezu. So Deku ends up going to talk to Nezu. Deku just wanted to play a quick game of chess. Deku ends up beating Nezu so fast, he is even early to class still. So in that time, let's see, what's the rest? Okay. So in that time that they beat Deku beat Nezu in the game of chess, they go to the Deku walks back to class. As soon as he gets in class, he says, Azora says it took all 10 seconds to be quiet, and then he looks at the door and sees that Deku walks in, and he says, "You are late, why are you late?" And he says, "I was in Principal Nezu's office, you can check with him if you don't believe me." And he doesn't check with Principal Nezu because he really doesn't care that much. And they throw the ball. Uchaka throws the ball first because I'll say she got out there and talked to Nezu. Why in the boys' locker room, they were changing, and the I forgot his name. Buff dude says, "You're ripped," and he said, Deku, Todoroki, and Bakugo say, "Yeah, we've been training." And he says, "How did you get so ripped?" And he says that Deku says they've been training together since they were 4, and he says, "Oh." So they walk out of the locker rooms, and by the time they get out there, everybody, well, they were the second people out there, but like they wait just for a little bit longer, and everybody's out there, and they go to the ball throw, and Uraka goes first, and she gets one. I want to see what that was. Oh, never mind. Uraka goes first, and she gets Affinity. And then goes Deku. Deku has Todoroki's haircut in this picture. So does Bakugo. They all have the same exact haircut, and they're all as tall as Todoroki. Anyway, that's just a little feature I decided to add since they all did act like twins. I decided they might as well look like twins, so everybody thinks that they are related, except Aizawa, because Aizawa knows that they're not. They all think, like, all Class A thinks that they're twins, and they decide to let everybody believe that they're twins because it's easier instead of explaining that Deku has 2 quirks, one that allows him to share quirks and one that allows him to be immune to poison and manipulate poison. So they just decide to say that they are twins, and they all basically have the same exact quirk. Which is, I'll say the quirk that they made up. I'll say they called it element. No, they called it cold ice. Let me think. Cold flame. Poison. Ice flames. Yeah, cold ice flames. Poison ice flames, I guess, because they have Deku's poison, which could be played off as Bakugo is the same thing as Bakugo's basically. Is this Bakugo only has sleeping powder, and Deku could could only have poisoned, and Todoroki could only have icy hot, like regular. But since they're twins, they said that they all ended up having the same exact quirk, combined it into one. So everybody in Class A believes him except Aizawa, because Aizawa actually knows the truth. Principal Nezu knows the truth. Basically, all the teachers know the truth, except Class 1A thinks that they're twins, and every teacher lets them get away with it. So they throw the ball, and Deku injects it with poison and adds a little bit of fire. You can see the ball in the middle of a dragon, and the dragon starts flying straight up towards the sky, breathing out fire. This sort of looks cool because Deku's kind of just showing off at this point. And the dragon flies all the way up, and it almost reaches the edge of the gravity pool, and it disappears. And then you do see a big burst of fire shooting out, and Deku gets affinity. Basically, the same thing happens with Todoroki, but it's a tiger instead of a dragon, and it just ends up running up into the sky, almost reaching the atmosphere, and then disappearing and being a big ball of flames right behind it. That Bakugo does the same thing, but he wanted to be a little bit different, so he added a little bit of his sleeping powder, and he put 2 knives in it, and he makes a lion appear. And since he added his sleeping powder, you can see I'll keep going just for a little bit, since I didn't get to where I wanted to yet. Right here. So you can see Bakugo's ball go up into the air, and you can see his 2 swords sticking out, and the swords are leaking this type of powder-ish thing, and it looks like it could be blood, but it's really just Bakugo's sleeping powder, which Bakugo's sleeping powder, this is red and purple, or red and pink, but he deleted all the pinks just for this effect, because if he added the pinks, the sleeping powder is just a lot more stronger, and he didn't want nobody to fall asleep. So the lion it looks like he's dripping blood as it runs down. As it runs up into the sky, disappearing, making a big burst of red disappear, as it disappears, and the swords fall towards the sky, and you just see a ball of ice go up and grab the swords and come back down. Basically, what Bakugo did is he injected the ball of ice with poison, making it moving a ball of ice, basically, which can explode at any second, leaving ice shards. But he didn't want it to explode. He just grabbed his ice and pushed the ball back down, grabbed his knife and put it back in his pocket. And the ball does the same thing, big burst of fire, and it gets to the the lion gets to outer atmosphere, and the big ball of fire takes the ball into Affinity. So they all tied with Uraka getting first place with Affinity. And I'm going to leave it off there. I'll come out with part 3 in a little bit, probably in an hour or 2.